Hey guys, welcome. Welcome. If we haven't met, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, Special Education Boss, training everyone that sits at the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful outcomes. The question to you today was, were you able to navigate and negotiate successful outcomes today? We worked on it. We worked on it hard. I think we made some inroads. Did you have good IEP meetings? Were you able to communicate effectively with others? Don't you find it interesting that when you're in an IEP meeting and somebody starts to bark and interrupt, there's a reason for that? There's only one reason that you are interrupting people. I feel like it's to control the answer. So I don't let people interrupt me in a meeting and talk over me. I had a meeting today and it just was a slow, painful, downhill meeting. So ask your questions and I will answer them as efficiently as possible. We have the book, The Epic IEP. It's an amazing, powerful playbook for parents, educators, and advocates navigating the IEP process. So go get it at theepic.com, and then come back and release your bonuses. Somebody asked, has your hair always been that big? No, it's actually been bigger. You should have seen how big it was in the 80s. It was so big. So we did trainings this weekend, and of course the pervasive question is, can paraprofessionals be teaching students without a special education teacher? So I just want to remind you. So in 2001, we had the No Child Left Behind, which is enacted by President George Bush, and it was reauthorized in 2015 by President Obama, and it turned into Every Student Succeeds Act. And so in that requirements, it talks about paraprofessionals. It talks about their requirements, and it says a paraprofessional may provide instructional support services only when working under, quote unquote, the direct supervision of a highly qualified teacher. I don't know why we are arguing about what direct supervision means, like direct supervision. Don't you think if they meant direct-ish, he would have said direct-ish supervision? Well, don't you think if it said if the teacher's in the building, if the teacher's in the same county, if they're cousins? It doesn't say that. It says under the direct supervision. And this is met if, one, the teacher plans the paraprofessional's instructional support duties, the teacher evaluates the achievement of the students with whom the paraprofessional works, and the paraprofessional works in close proximity to the teacher. Close proximity to the teacher and has frequent contact with the teacher. Direct supervision, close proximity, frequent contact. I don't know how much clearer that can be, but it seems to be confusing. To download the Special Education Academy app. All of our content comes out there every day, all 12 pieces. Child has an IEP and has home instruction, temporary, and I'm not giving DR how this works. Can a para take over a self-contained sped class for a teacher who's quitting? She will take a boot camp. Oh, I like that, boot camp. So a self-contained classroom very much needs a special educator teaching in that classroom. So no, a paraprofessional cannot take over that classroom. How often can a special needs student on behavioral services be suspended? I mean, it depends on the acuity of the disciplinary action. Do special needs laws include private schools? So special education, IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, grants federal funds to public schools that make a grant letter annually that says, hey, we are Alabama, we are going to meet all of our IDEA obligations, and does that. Is it okay to exclude a student from a reward trip because of behaviors who has social emotional IEP? If we're going to have a trip, we should make it appropriate for him and him to have equal access, certainly taking into consideration the acuity of his disability. Is there a legal amount of SPED students for someone with no training of special education to watch? I don't see, a number, but some states have sort of, guidance around ranges. What to do when a child has an ES and now is in general ed is putting the class and staff in danger. So what to do would be your principal needs to step in and make sure that he's keeping everybody in the campus safe. What happens when you have educational testing done and they test on the lower end scale? Our job is to evaluate children who are in need of special education and related services with suspected disabilities. It goes on to say in Child Find 300.111D that a child doesn't even have to be listed by their eligibility as long as we know that that student is in need of special education and related services. Is the school supposed to give directions on homeschooling? I'm not told how it works. It's frustrating. Yeah, so homeschooling is going to come from, you select that. You can find co-ops, you can find curriculum. I would reach out to the state general education and see if they have any guidance on that. Tips on handling outside services in your classroom. Just make sure that they're beneficial for the student. If it's a push-in model, that has to be the right place to deliver that therapy. Can you go to 504 for mental disorders such as OCD and bad anxiety? Certainly if you have mental needs and OCD and bad anxiety, I would want an IEP so that we get services, supports, goals. What about teachers that are still in school but teaching as interns? Interns as special education teachers. So here's the good news. You are either a certified special educator or you are not. And I understand that there's a track to get there, but until you're a certified special educator, you wouldn't meet the state standards. And of course, each state will have special education teachers that are certified on their state website. Can admin refuse to evaluate a pre-K4 student who was looked at in their development year? No, when the parent asks for testing with a suspected disability, we do the testing. Should kids with pullouts 89% of the day be in general education? So kiddos should be in general education when that's the appropriate setting for that content area. What to do about a kid who can't stay awake during class? Certainly, I would look for, an evaluation to see what is the function of that sleeping. My son's in a self-contained. His IQ is 95. He's also on grade level. The mainstream is complaining. Yeah, I wouldn't know why they would be in self-contained if he's on grade level. Does he have autism? That's why he's in a self-contained class. It's certainly not a life skills class. Give me some more information around that. Maximum students in LP classrooms in Massachusetts. I was told this year my child has to be reevaluated for dyslexia. He has an IEP. Is this normal? So you don't have to be reevaluated. We could choose to just bring up their past testing forward and to use that information. Do advocates deal with just educational advice, or can they help parents with safety concerns? So we serve families that have kiddos with a disability between the ages of 3 and 22. So that might be something that would be encompassed in an IEP. If a child has an IEP for just behavior, 0 minutes for academics, can they be pulled for small groups? I think any child can be pulled for a small group if we're doing some sort of RTI, MTSS, or SST. If a child has an IEP for just behavior, the same thing. Let's see. Is it okay for a special education teacher to tell her students you should know how to read? You're a 5th grader. Oh, wow. Maybe we should ask that teacher that she should learn some soft skills since she's an adult. Thanks for the gifts, you guys. What are the laws on behavior after a child has hurt a teacher? Too much to explain already. So, we have to keep everybody safe. Obviously, if there's somebody that's not getting what they need, that's the wrong setting, then we need to look at